In the heart of a frozen winter, under the shadow of a gathering storm, a small nation stood alone against a giant. This is the story of the Winter War, a conflict so brutal, so improbable, it defied every expectation. November 1939, Europe was already ablaze, but in the icy stillness of the north, a new inferno was about to erupt. Joseph Stalin, the iron fist of the Soviet Union, saw Finland as a crucial strategic prize, a gateway to the Baltic, a buffer for Leningrad. He demanded territory, seemingly small concessions. Finland, fiercely independent, refused. The world watched, expecting a swift, crushing victory. How could a nation of barely 3 million stand against the might of the Red Army? The answer lay not just in courage, but in cunning, in innovation, and in the unforgiving embrace of the Arctic. On November 30, 1939, the Soviet invasion began. Waves of tanks, columns of infantry, and relentless air attacks hammered Finland's borders. But the Red Army was unprepared for the biting cold, the deep snow, and the ferocity of Finnish resistance. Their dark uniforms stood out starkly against the white landscape, making them easy targets. When Soviet Foreign Minister Molotov notoriously claimed their bombs were humanitarian aid food parcels, the Finns responded with dark humor and deadly innovation. They called the Soviet bombs Molotov's breadbaskets, and created their own cocktail to go with them, the Molotov cocktail. Crude, yes, but devastatingly effective against Soviet tanks. But their greatest weapon was the very land itself. The dense forests and frozen lakes became a labyrinth for the lumbering Soviet columns. The Finns perfected the Motti tactic, Swedish for stack of firewood. They would cut off Soviet supply lines, split their stretched-out columns into isolated pockets, and then systematically destroy them, unit by frozen unit. And from the snow, legends emerged. Perhaps none more chillingly effective than Simo Häyhä, the White Death. A quiet farmer before the war, Häyhä became the most prolific sniper in history, credited with over 500 confirmed kills. Operating in temperatures as low as -40 degrees Celsius, he used iron sights to avoid lens glare, proving that skill and determination could turn one man into a force of nature. Beyond the front lines, the entire nation was mobilized. Women, children, the elderly, everyone contributed. This wasn't just a military conflict, it was a fight for survival, for identity, a human story of resilience etched into the frozen landscape. We hear stories passed down, whispered from grandparents, of unimaginable hardship and unwavering resolve. The early months were a humiliating disaster for the Soviets, exposing their military's weaknesses after Stalin's purges. But the Soviet Union, for all its blunders, was a vast, unforgiving machine. Stalin learned, albeit at a horrific cost. New commanders were brought in, tactics adapted, and the sheer weight of numbers began to tell. By February 1940, with massive artillery bombardments and relentless assaults, the Red Army finally breached the formidable Mannerheim Line. Finnish ammunition was dwindling, their forces exhausted. Despite their heroic stand, the grim reality set in. On March 12, 1940, the Moscow Peace Treaty was signed. Finland lost 11% of its territory, including its second-largest city, Viipuri. It was a harsh, bitter peace. Yet against all odds, Finland had retained its independence, a defiant beacon in a world succumbing to tyranny. The Winter War was a Pyrrhic victory for the Soviets, exposing weaknesses that Hitler would exploit just over a year later. For Finland, it was a testament to the indomitable spirit of a small nation fighting for its very existence. The Winter War remains a stark reminder that even in the face of overwhelming odds, the human will to resist, to fight for what is right, can achieve the seemingly impossible. It's a story of extraordinary sacrifice, brutal conditions, and a spirit that refused to break. What do you find most compelling about this incredible story? Let us know in the comments below. If you're as fascinated by history's untold tales and remarkable stands as we are, make sure to like this video, share it with fellow history enthusiasts, and most importantly, subscribe to Kings and Generals for more in-depth, animated historical documentaries. Your support helps us bring these vital stories to life. Click the notification bell so you never miss our next epic journey into the past. Thank you for watching. The legacy of the Winter War endures, a powerful lesson in courage, resilience, and the unyielding fight for freedom.